It is time to breathe again on the Breath of Fresh Air webcast on YouTube. Patrick, you look surprised because it popped on pretty quick. Like your eyes
Oh,
kind
did
of
it?
pulling up, like, oh God. It
Good. It
normally
did
takes a
pop up.
while. Well, as you can see, got Patrick with me. I am Charles, and it is good to be back for the latest live episode, live webcast for the Breath of Fresh Air. So, Patrick, we're just going to jump into these topics because we got a good amount today. So, let's start with Tebow time. Our man Tim Tebow is back on a football roster, and it is with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We know why he's getting this opportunity pretty much. Probably wouldn't get it if Urban Meyer wasn't on the team. So or wasn't coaching the team. But be as it may, they signed him to a 1 year non-guaranteed contract. So basically, hey, if it doesn't work out, cut him, no losses. If it does, then he gets his contract. I don't know the figures of the contract he had signed. I just know that it is for a year. I feel like it is kind of funny, and I'd like to get your views on this. But I feel like it's funny how everybody is just throwing shade at Tebow getting signed. It's not like he's coming in here competing for the quarterback job. We know that is Trevor Lawrence's spot. So I don't get it. Maybe they'll put him on one of those specialty packages and he could do the Wildcat or kind of like how the New Orleans Saints use Taysom Hill, something like that. But he's not coming in here playing quarterback. It's not like all the luster and all the Hollywood that came with Tim Tebow. It's not necessarily there anymore, but he's got a following in Jacksonville. We know he was a local product there, the local high school football quarterback in Jacksonville. Of course, he played in the University of Florida, so there's going to be some fanfare there. And of course, Patrick, we know it's about the business aspect. Got to put some butts in the seats there in Jacksonville too.
And Tim Tebow will do that. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is going to do it too. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, look, quarterback turned tight end. I mean, dude, we said this years ago, man. If Tebow would just play the game where people want him to play, he'd been in the NFL this whole time. But he wanted to go try out his baseball skills, which, and I said that even before. I was like, he's a much better football player than he is a baseball player. But he went and tried his baseball stats out, or his baseball talents out in New York, and I mean, he did okay, I guess. I mean, he never reached over 250 batting average. Didn't drive in as many, he wasn't going to be a major league baseball player. Let's put it that way. He's just not good enough to do that. But me and you said it plenty of times. We don't think he got his fair shake in the NFL. And when you beat the number one ranked defense in the Steelers that year in overtime in Denver, I mean, he earned his right to be there. But you get Peyton Manning, and you got to roll with that. So I get where it's coming from. I just don't feel like he got his fair shake. And Urban Meyer, being the head coach down in Jacksonville, hey, here's your opportunity, but you got to be a tight end. Okay, cool. Be a tight end, dude. Make that money. SEC Network's still going to be there. So I like it. I think it's good. I like it. Like you said, put butts in the seats, but at the same time, man, Tebow wanted to be an NFL player, and he's going to get another chance. And it's very rare, very, very, very rare that anybody gets a second chance. So make the best of it, Tim. I'm rooting for you, dude. I've always rooted for you. I like you. I don't care what college you played for, but I do like Tim Tebow. So
yeah, and one of the things about him coming there is he can kind of be that bridge. This is Urban Meyer we're talking about, so this is his first time being in the NFL. And if you have a player who kind of understands how he works, maybe he can communicate that to the rest of the players. We know how it can be. Um, if you're a college coach and you've been very successful at the college level, then you go to the pros, doesn't work the same. A lot of this is just really demographics. In college, you have your pick, especially if you're at a college or like in Urban Meyer's case, you coached at Florida and you coached at Ohio State. These are two of the biggest football schools in the nation. I know he coached at Bowling Green and in Utah before those days at Florida and Ohio State. But at those two colleges in particular, you're basically getting your cream of the crop there. You're getting a lot of 5-star players. And when you're able to get those 5-star players just from you going to recruit, it's there's a little bit more influence you have there. But when you come into the NFL, you're dealing with grown men who are getting paid. Some of these dudes getting paid way more than you are as the head coach. So there's a lot of other factors you don't have to worry about at college. So what you do, or I guess what you try to do as a college coach, is you try to put things around yourself to, I guess, make sure things are familiar to you as possible. If you had something that worked in college, you hope it can work a little bit in the NFL. And if you can get a little bit of that, then you want to try to keep that going, along with trying to build upon some of the things you don't have. Bringing Tim Tebow in, I think, is one of those moves. I think it goes beyond the, all right, we're bringing him in as a tight end. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Tim Tebow knows Urban Meyer, as we know, obviously, and he can be, I think, a little bit of a bridge. Not necessarily a captain or anything like that, but just kind of a bridge just because he knows how Urban Meyer works. And so if there's some things those other players don't understand, then Tim can say, hey, just roll with it. It's okay. He'll be okay. Yeah, exactly. And I honestly think Urban Meyer will do okay. I know there's a lot of people who do have some doubts about where he'll go, and it probably it won't happen overnight. So that's what we have to remember.
No.
This isn't going to be one of these things. A success story is probably not happening overnight with Jacksonville. Let's have some patience with this. Let's see how he can work. But it's Urban Meyer. He could see a college job and jump right back into college. We just don't know. So it just depends. But I think if he's able to stay in Jacksonville for 3-4 years, I can see Jacksonville doing something with that. And maybe Tim Tebow's ahead of it.
And I mean, Urban Meyer thinks ahead. As we, and I can tell you, living in SEC Nation like this, I can tell you, Urban Meyer plans ahead. There's a lot more to Tim Tebow taking this position than just A, putting butts in the seat, B, having a tight end, and C, third string quarterback. I mean, let's be honest. Jacksonville's line is not like the best out there. Trevor is going to be running a lot, and until he gets that line that Urban Meyer wants and that he's used to playing in coaching in Florida as well as coaching in Ohio State, until he gets that line, he is going to, if Trevor is injured, he knows that he has somebody that can take the reign. I mean, who's Trevor's backup right now?
Ooh, that's a good question, because I think right now it is still Gardner Minshew. I didn't hear about him getting traded to anywhere. Okay, so I think it would be that'll be a fact check for us though. But I think
I'll look it up in just a second. But even if it is Minshew, even if, let's say, just unforeseeable things happen, Trevor gets injured, Minshew gets injured, you still got Tebow. You know what I mean? And this is Urban Meyer, his thinking ahead. Yes, I'm hiring this. I'm putting him on the field to be a tight end. Worst comes to worst, I still have what many people want on their field on their team is a person that can be a tight end, but if needed, I have a third quarterback. Your team, the 31, do not have 3 quarterbacks on their team, and Tebow can take and be a very prolific third string quarterback. So no, I like the pickup. I really do, and that's not me, but just because I'm a Tebow fan. I like the pickup because Tebow's coming in as a tight end, and he is very, very versatile in this lineup, and I like it. I like it because he is versatile, and it gives Urban many more options. Something happens, he has backups and tons of them now. So I like it.
Yeah, me too. I see no harm, no foul with this. I had seen some of these tweets, the Twitterverse again strikes, and the garbageness that it comes out. And people are over here trying to say, "Oh, here he comes. How does he get another opportunity?" And some of these other guys don't get an opportunity. Somebody tried to make a comparison to Kaepernick. It's not even close to the same thing. It's not even close. So, I mean, circumstances are way different with that. So,
Yeah.
you just gotta
So
stop. Go ahead.
and even right now, so here's our fact check. You got Trevor Lawrence as the starter, Gardner Minshew as the second, CJ uh, Berthard
Better,
as
yeah.
the third,
See, a
and
former 49er quarterback.
yeah, and then you got Jake Luton as the fourth string. I would imagine getting that down to 52. There's a possibility that third and fourth it could possibly go away. It looks like Chris Manhertz is the starting tight end with James O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy?
Yeah, hey, man, hey, go back to Key and Peele days. Oh, Shaq Hennessy.
O'Shag Hennessy. That's it. God, you know
No.
what? That. I'm glad you said that because that is O'Shag
Oh,
Hennessy's
Shaq
off.
Hennessy. Nah, it's a
And
O'Shaughnessy.
then you got third string Luke Farrell and fourth string Tim Tebow.
Yes, and I had heard some stats about these tight ends earlier on the radio today. None of these tight ends are very accomplished. I
Chris
think,
Manhertz is probably the most accomplished,
yeah, and he
but
did get it.
I could see Tebow as the second string tight end, maybe even the first.
so hey, we'll see.
You catch a ball. If you catch a ball, that's the one thing about Chris Manhertz is he can't catch.
So we'll
So
see.
catch a ball, Tim might be.
So we'll
Tim might
see
be
how it
number one.
we'll we'll see how it turns out. But like I said, I like the move. I agree with you. I'm with the move, and I think it could definitely turn into something. Stop laughing at O'Shaughnessy or O'Shaq
Oh,
Hennessy.
I'm not laughing at that. No, check this out. Last, Chris Manhertz, his last stats. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
One 11-29 against Minnesota. One reception, one target, 11 yards. Next week against Denver, 0-0-0. Green Bay the next week, 0-0-0. Next week against Washington, 0-0-0. And then his last game against New Orleans, 0-0-0. Tim got a chance, man.
Yes, he does.
5 weeks running, one reception, one target, 11 yards.
So yes, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out as we get closer to the season and get into the training camps and see how far he gets on the roster. But I see a little role for Tebow. I do see that.
I do now. I think a lot of room for Tebow.
Well, Patrick, let's move on to got a few NBA topics here. So now we know the playoffs are coming up next Saturday is when they start. Uh, well, next Tuesday is our NBA play-in tournament. So we have heard players complain about being in the system. We all know this is because they're salty because they might be in the play-in system. So, so now all of a sudden they want to start politicking. You know the names, you know who they are. You know what? Screw it. So, you know your boy LeBron was complaining. You know Mark Cuban was
That is
complaining.
not my boy.
Luka
That is
Luka
not my boy.
Luka Doncic was
That's
complaining.
not my boy.
So
That is
look.
not my boy. Take it
Oh,
back.
all right, Patrick. Cool. Your boy. No.
Dude. No, I'm taking offense to that. That is not my boy. Take it back. I do not like him at all.
Why? Ever since the Miami thing, right?
That's the start. He's a piece of shit person. That's what he is. I don't like him. He's not my boy at all.
Patrick.
No,
Language,
don't even say that's my boy anymore.
Language, Patrick. My goodness. Stop getting all the salty. Why are you salty? Stop
I
being
don't like
salty.
him. I don't like him. He's a crappy person, dude. I don't like him.
Goodness. Well, look, as it is, the other players,
Not my boy.
Luka Doncic. I'm not saying that's your boy, so let it go. So now you don't want to let it go? Now you gonna? I don't know. I don't understand. I'm not saying
making sure anybody that watches this knows that is not my boy.
All right. So as it is, let's get back on topic. Let's talk about the NBA play-in system. And we touched on it a little bit, but we never really hit on it as far as what it means to the league and what it does for the league and how it works in the grand scheme of things as far as other teams tanking. So, are you on the camp where you don't want to deal with the play-in system or you like the play-in system?
Who, me?
Yes, you. Who else am I talking to? Who else is on here, Patrick?
Oh, I thought you meant it like as an in general question. My fault. I don't give a crap. Either way, I mean, I don't care. It's either 8 teams or it's 10 teams, whatever.
So, do you feel that way, like you do about the baseball system?
No, well, no, I think the baseball system needs to be fixed, but this I don't. I mean, it's nobody's gonna fix the baseball system. Nobody's gonna fix the basketball system. So now it is what it is. I mean, honestly, it's an extra game, one game, or is it a series?
No, it's weird how it set us up. So you have the 7 and 8 play each other, and then you have the 9 and 10 play each other. The winner of the 7 and 8 gets the 7th seed, and they're in there. The loser of the 7 and 8 seed plays the winner of the 9 and 10 game, and the winner of that game gets the other spot. It's weird how it's set up.
Okay. I do care a little bit more. That is stupid.
Why is it stupid? Why is it stupid, Patrick? I just like
it's complicated. You're adding 2 teams. That's add. I mean, come on. Just leave it at 8 and let it be.
Look, I like it for this reason. I'll tell you, because it's the same thing that baseball did, adding the wild card system. And what you have are teams in the regular season. It puts a little bit more meaning into the regular season. Beforehand, you had the majority of these teams that they felt like they didn't have a chance to at least try and get into the playoffs. They were going to tank. And I know, hearing you all these years, how you complain about tanking, that is a good thing when teams actually play to try to get into one of these spots, just to have the opportunity. So it adds a little bit.
4 teams from tanking. I get that. That makes sense. Because you would have 9 and 10, 11 and 12, because they all still have an opportunity to play, especially like in this scenario that I'm looking at. You have 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you have Memphis, San Antonio, New Orleans, and Sacramento, because none of those four have been eliminated. So you could possibly see 4 teams at most not pushing for a tank. Okay, I see where you're going with that. I like that. I like that.
No, I mean, but it does. Baseball, when they added and look, the system itself probably needs to be fixed. The NBA, I don't even know. I know Adam Silver was talking about doing this or doing something like this, but I guess when they went down to the bubble, he said, "Hey, let's go ahead and implement this." Now, of course, that was part of the money grab. You had to try to recruit or recoup some of the money that was lost during the 3 months you weren't in action. So I know that was kind of part of what you were trying to do there. But when you look at how everything has transpired with this year and how teams like the Washington Wizards, for an example. Washington Wizards, they didn't have anything they were struggling. They were pretty much done. Got on a nice little roll, and now they have a chance to get into the 10th spot, maybe the ninth spot, and maybe they can make some noise. We don't think they're going to do anything too much when they get into the playoffs, or do we think most of those other teams, well, the Lakers might be in one of those play-in spots, but but
Oh, they're in one of those playoff spots, those play-in spots.
So there you go, and that's another thing. I'm not saying this is going to happen every year, but you literally have the defending champions in a play-in spot. Now it was injuries. You had some injuries to their key personnel. We know LeBron got hurt. We know Anthony Davis got hurt too, and the Lakers have been kind of uneven. But just think, you have your defending champion in the play-in game, potentially playing the Warriors, and we know what Steph Curry's been doing. So, so he can get hot and carry the Warriors to a victory in that game if the Lakers aren't careful.
Just
So,
one game, right?
that one is one game. Now, it's not quite it's not a single elimination thing. Because that's the thing. So you have your 7 and 8 play each other, 9 and 10 play each other. The loser of the 7 and 8 plays the winner of the 9 and 10 to get that last spot. Whoever wins the 7 and 8 game automatically is into the playoffs.
Okay, so whoever wins 7 and 8 gets the 7th spot. The winner of 9 and 10 has to play the loser of 7 and 8 to get the 8th spot.
Mm-hmm.
10 is automatically eliminated through the one loss.
Yeah, the loser of that game is gone. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay.
So, I mean, it's interesting.
It makes it a little more interesting. I can see where you're going in with it.
It just puts more meaning into the regular season. And you've seen it in your sport, Patrick. When you look at how that wild card, even though it's a play-in game, we know that needs fixing. We get that. Not trying to get you, not trying to get you on a rant here, but
and you know
the fact that you have the fact that you have a couple of other spots to work with, it puts just a little bit more meaning into the regular season. And yes, money grab, get it, we know that. What I wonder, like with baseball, I mean, remember when baseball, of course, last year they put in the system where they were series, 3-game series and a 5-game series and a 7-game series.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get it. I feel like that was one of the best things baseball has done yeah, at least since Bud Selig's been gone. Oh, yeah. And Bud Selig did nothing good when he was there.
Well, it's still baseball. I guess whatever that means.
And look, you know what? Not so much, because I felt like the 60-game season was awesome because it just put so much. It was literally a sprint. I would like to see the baseball season get cut down to, I mean, look, even if it was cut down to 120 games, I can work with that. I can get with that. Like 162. I mean, I get it. I understand. But man, that's a lot of games. Even they cut it down to 140, I'd be good.
No, I would say 132 would be the perfect number for me.
132?
Mm-hmm.
Why 132?
Just cut off 30 games.
Okay.
just cut off 30 games, leave it at 132, and then make that play-in game a 3-game series. But then again, then you're starting to dip into revenue and stuff like that. Which honestly, 132 games at the price these tickets are anyway, just go up $10. You're going to get your money back.
Yeah. So that, to me, that's the biggest thing about it. Not necessarily that we're expecting those teams to do much when they get into the playoffs, but just giving a couple of spots. Yeah. And then the NBA especially was really bad with the tanking. I mean, horrible with the tanking. It's to the point where players were sitting out right after the All-Star break. The teams are literally shutting down players after the All-Star break. Oh, we don't have a chance. We ain't gonna do anything anyway. Let's just sit these dudes out, start their vacation by 2 more months.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. If I'm a star like that, if I'm in last place or if I'm in first place, man, I gotta compete, dude. I got to. Anything. If somebody come up to me and says, "I need you to stop hustling," I'm like, "It's not what you signed me for. Sorry, I can't. I can't do it, man. I got to go out there and give my 100%, man. I mean, if I'm exhausted, I'm still trying to get up and down that court, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do it, and it's probably because of the way I was raised, man. I was raised never to give up, man. I don't give up, dude. I want to, but my body and my heart says, nope. I mean, you know how I feel about cold weather, and how many times, dude, baseball's my favorite sport, man. I can tell you, I hate it. I hate cold weather. Come October, if I was in the playoffs, bro, I'm out there bundled up in a parka and everything, hoodie on, tied tight. Right. I'm out there. I'm trying. I am trying.
Yep. And that's the thing. I mean, I would feel like at some point some pride would kick in, but too many times, especially with the NBA season, it's, man, we're sitting at 12-28. Let's tank. Let's see if we can get the number 1 pick. There's half the season left.
But let's be honest, man. Even the number 1 teams are tanking, man. They don't play defense.
Well, defense was out the window a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. Like years ago.
You've seen some of these scores yesterday. I mean, the Spurs yesterday scored 146. I want to say it was either Phoenix or no, it was the Pacers. They scored 152 in a regulation game. That is disgusting. I mean, I get things are geared a little bit more toward the offense, but my goodness. Is every game
yesterday? Well, hold on. The 10th. What's today? The 11th. Yeah. So yesterday, Houston got beat by Portland, 140 to 129.
Yeah. Spurs scored 146.
Ooh, dude, every game was in the hundreds in regulation.
See,
even Cleveland scored 102 points.
See, terrible, awful.
That's horrible.
Well, Patrick. Here's another topic for you, man. This one's going towards Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson is out for the season now, and there's not much left to the season. But I guess he has
they did rule him out with that fractured finger.
Yeah, so he has a fractured finger. And what was interesting about this is the general manager for the New Orleans Pelicans, David Griffin, basically got loose on the NBA and said pretty much
This was
Zion's
going to be
injury.
shorty last week,
Yeah.
but
You
I
should
decided against it.
oh, boo. Well, no, I'm just playing.
Well, I wanted to do baseball.
The baseball one was a good topic, Patrick. Patrick, you're spicy today. Anyway,
I am spicy today.
very spicy. But hey, um, the general manager just went in on the NBA and said his fractured finger is an accumulation of the players and the teams the Pelicans were playing basically going open season on Zion Williamson. When I heard this, I said, dude, come on. So this is your normal our dude got hurt or our dude isn't getting enough foul shots because the refs weren't calling the fouls. He
He's
was
ranked
fourth.
fourth in the league.
Yes, I saw that. Yep. Only
As you know,
what?
when I do my research, for the shorties, I can tell you he's fourth in the league. Already
That
done
is,
the stats.
man, Patrick. I'm so a tear's coming down my eye. No,
You're welcome. You're welcome. I did some work. You're welcome.
thank you, Patrick. And so, but yeah, fourth in the league. I mean, only Joel Embiid, I think Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Trae Young has shot more free throws than Zion Williamson has this year. So it's not like he's not getting to the foul line. It's not like he's not getting the calls. I mean, David Griffin even went to he's getting hacked the most since Shaq was. There was nobody, no human
Nobody
is
gets
getting hacked
hacked
like
more than
Shaq
Shaq.
was.
Nobody.
Nobody. And I get it, Patrick. He's trying to take the side, trying to protect his player. But I think David Griffin is way off base here. He's not getting hacked like Shaq. And the injury occurred when he was going for a rebound.
Yeah.
Fingers just kind of went in the wrong place. That's not a result of open season.
Well, and if you also read more of what he said, and this is the reason why I was like, you know what, I probably should have done this, shorty. But he also said on there, David also was like, how did he put it? The way the referees ref my guy, talking like how the referees single out how they ref certain people. I mean, he was going all out, man. Like some of the things he was saying, I was like, dude, you're way off base, and now you're really throwing the NBA under the bus, which probably needs to be done anyway. But now you're really throwing the NBA way under the bus, saying that these guys, you know, they're supposed to ref each person individually based on their superstardom, kind of thing. When he said, when I read that, I was like, dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, if they need to crack down on anything in the league, they need to crack down on the traveling. I mean, that is the biggest thing. Dude, I was watching a game.
Flopping.
I was watching the highlights. I was watching the highlights of one of the games like a week ago. And this dude was like, he changed his pivot foot 4 or 5 times, bro. He had like 22 steps as he held the ball, dude. He was just like, and then he did a little slide and a pullback and jump and then missed. I was like, dude, you're garbage. I was like, dude, you were garbage, man.
The flopping is out of control too.
And the flopping's out, dude. I tell you straight up, man. If I was commissioner of the NBA, $500,000 fine for flopping.
Yeah, start hitting.
I'd be like, whoa, 500,000, dude. I mean, dude, I was watching one where the guy was I don't even remember who it was, but he was standing looking at him, and he did like a spin move, And he came back around. He stepped back, and then the guy took off flying. He was like, I was like, oh, come on, dude.
Yeah.
And he got the call. I was like, oh, my God.
It's bad.
That's
It's
bad.
really, really bad.
Walking and flopping, they need to fix that. But no, I would have to say, back on the Zion thing, I mean, even the remark he said that people in the league are saying, I'm going to keep doing it because they're not calling it. I mean, don't get me wrong. That would be something I would say. So I believe people are out there saying it. But
You're a hack. You're just gonna go out there hacking.
I'm not going to be like trying to hack because I can. I mean, I'm going, but I mean, if they're not going to call a foul and I'm like bumping up against him, dude, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it until they call it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not out there trying to break fingers. I'm not going to try to punch him in the face like Kobe got punched in the face that one game and nobody called it. You know, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying I'm going to be as aggressive as the refs will let me without breaking fingers, punching people in the face, cup checks, you know, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm going to be aggressive, but if they start calling the foul, then yeah, I got to pull back a little bit. But if they're going to let me man up on Zion, I'd do it. Yeah. But like I said, I'm not out there. I'm not going to commit hacking fouls just because they're not calling anything. I'm not going to reach around and try to steal the ball, and you know, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play fair defense. But if they're allowing me to be physical, I will.
So I shouldn't call you a walking foul or a goon.
No. I wouldn't go that far. But I mean, like, I would definitely try to. I would definitely try to put defense on Zion. But the way he's talking, like these guys are out here, like every time they get a chance, they hacking him. No, nobody gets hacked like Shaq. Nobody did.
Yeah, I just thought I get trying to take up for your team or for your player, and this is your star player. So I understand what he was trying to do there, but yeah, I'm with you. This was he was a little off kilter with this one. The open season comment got me, man.
See, the open season one got you when he goes, he's getting hacked more than Shaq. I was like, no. I draw the line right there, bro. That ain't happening. Nobody gets hacked more than Shaq.
People were literally tackling Shaq. I mean, they were.
Yeah. And it's not just like one person. They were gang tackling Shaq.
Yeah.
Remember that one time where the dude was hanging on his shoulders?
Right. Jeez.
And he still scored a layup.
Yeah.
I was like, and they didn't call that, dude. Nobody called it on Shaq.
Jeez. Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the comment that got me. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, I one more thing, and you could throw your comments on this too before we move on to the next one. I had heard something where they were trying to look at whether or not players should be ref differently. No, a foul is a foul. If he gets hacked, I don't care how big he is. I don't care how strong he is. I don't care. If he gets hacked, call the foul. Call the foul. Don't change it, because you know how some people, they say, well, you may get a call in the first quarter, but you may not get that same call in the fourth quarter. No, foul's a foul.
A foul is a foul. Call it across the board the same throughout the game.
Yeah, just
be
consistent. Just be consistent. If you're not, if you're gonna let them play, then let them play throughout, unless it's egregious. If it's egregious, then call the foul. If my man is getting tackled like Shaq, then you need to call that foul. But if you're out there trying to,
if they put a shoulder in his chest,
yeah,
like, and he's parallel, like, and he's on from parallel, like, yo, okay, I got it. But no, if he's up on him, man, trying to, okay, and he does it on the other end, let him play. I mean, but I'm a huge fan of letting them play. I say the refs are only there in case somebody gets punched in the face. You know what I mean?
Yep, I'm with you, man. Well, let's talk about the Boston Celtics. And this one specifically is about the head coach, Brad Stevens. There's some rumblings that he may get fired. I had heard a couple of people say hey, maybe it's time for him and the Celtics to part ways. Look, Boston, they've been disappointing this year. Uh, they've been kind of meddling around that 6-7 spot. They're in one of those play-in spots, and then they lost Jaylen Brown for the season. Uh, with him and Jason Tatum, that's a good combo they have, and they're probably going to have to build around that. So I guess my question to you is, how do you feel about Brad Stevens? Keeping in mind, they have made the Eastern Conference Finals 2 out of the 4 seasons he's been there. Or when was his first season? Was it 2016 or 2017?
2016 was
Okay.
his first season.
Okay. So they were in the conference finals in 2018 and in 2020 last year. So it's not like they've been garbage since he's been there. Is this just a matter of the city of Boston being spoiled by having teams right there running for the title, and they just want the man gone if the Boston's looking disappointing?
I think it goes on titles, man. And the Lakers are creeping up. I think Boston has 17 or 18 total titles or something like that. They're still number one in the NBA. Lakers are one championship behind. I did hear a lot of talks that Brad Stevens was on the hot seat. I didn't know. I hadn't heard anything past that. But I did hear he was on the hot seat. But I mean, look, I don't think it's time for him.
I just want to say real quick, Patrick, nothing has happened. So I mean, he's still the coach as of today and stuff, but yeah, there are some rumblings, I guess.
I mean, but there's always rumblings about anybody, getting fired. Hell, there's probably rumblings about me getting fired at my job. Who knows? And I'm pretty good at my job. So, no, I mean, I don't think it's time for him to go. I mean, he's still getting the best out of his players. I mean, he's made the playoffs every year that he's been coaching there. He's made the finals twice. But
take that back. They made the Eastern Conference Finals in 2017 too. So 3 seasons they made it.
3 seasons. So there you go. 3 out of the 5. So
Isaiah Thomas.
Yep. So I think personally, I think it's the whole title thing. With Boston having that one more title than LA, and the possibility with LeBron James and AD at LA, there's a possible that they could run for their 17th or 18th title, whatever the number is. And I think that just scares ownership a lot, where they're like, well, if Brad Stevens is not winning, we got to find somebody that's going to. We got to stay ahead. We got to stay above LA. We got to keep moving forward. And I honestly don't think that. I think they just need to slow their roll, and give him somebody other than Brown and Tatum to play the game. Go out and get some people, get somebody, because I mean, like, I think Brown just had a season-ending injury, so now he's done. His wrist. So now you're going to put your whole entire season now on Tatum, and that's hard. It's hard for one person. In today's league, that's hard. I would just have to say, no, go and get him a couple of people that can surround Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and let him go. Let him see what he can do with that. But no, I don't think it's time for him to get fired.
Nah, I'm with you. I don't think it's time for him to go either. I mean, if nothing else, give him next year. Hopefully Boston can get some people around Tatum and Brown. Kemba Walker has been mean, he's been disappointing. He'd been battling injuries all year, and he was supposed to be kind of that third guy, but he just hasn't lived up to the billing.
Well,
And
he's not that third guy type anyway.
nah, I mean, I think the reason why they got Kemba Walker from the beginning was because they were. I mean, they were coming off of the Kyrie Irving dysfunction, and because Kyrie Irving is he's a malcontent and he's kind of toxic. He's just a toxic teammate. So they were coming off there. They wanted to kind of get a replacement for him. Kemba Walker isn't necessarily as good as Kyrie Irving when you're looking at the individual talents, but he was a better teammate. And I think the chemistry kind of went better with him and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown than it ever did for Kyrie Irving. But on the court, he struggled. Kemba's just struggled. Like he's not hitting shots. I mean, normally he can hit shots at least. He is struggling to score. That's something Kemba doesn't do. But like you said, I do agree with you that the role he had in Charlotte when he was with the Hornets was he was the number one scorer. I mean, he was the guy who was the bucket getter. Come to Boston, you're not necessarily that guy, and I think maybe there is some. He's just kind of having trouble finding his rhythm, and he missed the first couple of months due to injury, and he really hasn't been the same since. And then they didn't really do much in the trade deadline. I felt like if they could have got the center from Orlando, he actually went to Chicago. But if they could have got Nikolai Vujovic, if they could have got him, then I think that really would have solidified things for Boston. And I think they make a nice little run. But I'm not ready to say Brad Stevens is the problem. I don't think that's what's happening there. I would at least give him another season to see what he can do there. If there's still struggles, then maybe we can reconsider. This will be, next year, if he is able to return, it'll be his sixth season going in there. And so if he can get something going for the sixth season, again, they've been to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 of those years. It's not like they've been garbage the whole time. Boston, calm down. Where's Jose at? Tell the Boston brethren to calm down there. Well, all right. So we agree it's not time for Brad Stevens to go. I do hope he gets another year at least. Crowd size. So,
but Boston has to spend some money to get somebody else out there.
Absolutely.
Like you said, if they would have got the center, that changes a lot for Boston because now you're not running a small. You're not running small all the time. You actually do have some size on you that you can put some height out there, and maybe even run a few big guys. But they don't even have anybody really like big out there, and they're constantly running small. So they're having to run quick. So they're having to run faster pace, and they don't slow down. I mean, they're a fast team. So no, I think that Boston is going to have to, if they spending a little bit more money to get somebody else on that court will help out a tremendous. So that's what I say.
All right. Well, let's get to this crowd size story. So this is here locally in DFW. And I was kind of in the middle of this because there's a Walmart next to AT&T Stadium, and I was trying to go to the Walmart. But what you had there over the weekend were 2 events going on at the same time. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where the Dallas Cowboys play, right by where the Texas Rangers play. Obviously, talking about AT&T Stadium, the Rangers have the new ballpark, Globe Life Field. There were 2 events going on there, and you had a boxing match taking place at AT&T Stadium with Canelo Alvarez and I think Billy Joe Saunders, and Canelo won. Over 73,000 were there in the stadium. You add that with the Rangers game that had a little bit over 26,000. You got 100,000 people almost in that same general area. I can tell you this, and I know what you're talking about. I know you're going to agree with me as well, with you being in Florida. These states are open, baby. They don't care. They getting this money. They are.
Bro, when the stats show, and this is across America, every state is agreeing. Every state, Texas and Florida, wide open, lowest COVID count in America. Both states, open up America, put the mask away. There ain't no point in it anymore. Let it go. Let it go. Look at us. Florida down here. Our kids have been going to school for a whole year. Texas, kids have been going to school for a whole year. Rest of America, kids are falling behind. What are we doing? What are we doing? No. Open it up. Get rid of the mask. We don't need it. Let's do it.
I mean, look, once the Rangers had said they were going to go full capacity for their home opener, you know,
They did.
you know, anybody who is working there at AT&T Stadium, we know how it is with Jerry Jones. Money, 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 money. You hold these events there, you trying to load these bad boys up. 73,000. So that's the largest crowd since the pandemic in anything, in any sport, in anything. And so, hey, look, it looks like from all reviews, things are starting to go down in terms of the cases. I know cases are kind of, or at least in this state, I can't speak for the other states, but I know in this state they are declining. You know, people are going, they're getting their vaccines, whatever the case. I just thought that was kind of crazy, just kind of looking at it. That there was that many people, maybe because I'm not used to seeing that many people in one spot anymore because of the pandemic. But I mean, I would say it's a little bit refreshing to see that because I think it's a sign that maybe we are starting to get back to some sort of normalcy where people can kind of just be themselves, get out there. And look, man, people are just kind of tired of just staying in their houses anyway, so they're going to get out.
Yeah. And that's the reason why you're seeing, I mean, Florida, I mean, you I don't know if you heard about what the state voting numbers are happening, but Florida's getting 2 more votes in the electoral college.
Yeah,
because
Texas is too.
Texas is getting 2, California is losing 4, New York is losing 2, because everybody is moving to Texas and Florida. The only 2 open states, because people want their freedom. And I'm sorry, it's just, you know, not to get politics on this show, but Biden's going to have to do it. He's going to have to open them up. He's going to fall short because nobody's listening. Everybody, dude, we have increased our population in the state of Florida by 4 million people in 3 months, bro. And Texas is like right there at those numbers. I mean, yeah. People want their freedom, and they're going to go where they can get it. And DeSantis has already stated, he stamped that 2 weeks ago, saying masks no longer mandatory statewide. Done. He is done. So, I mean, we walk around anywhere we want to. Now, don't get me wrong. Sorry, DeSantis, that you giving me the privilege to do that's something I was already doing. I wouldn't. I have yet to wear a mask, like in major places.
I was about to say, I was like, Patrick, you wore a mask. I remember you telling me you wore a mask.
Yeah, I wore a mask. But like the only time I've ever really wore the mask was when our business was putting up that hotel, and then after the hotel was up, I never wore another one. Because I just don't see the point.
So yeah. I mean, I think
And I ain't getting that shot either.
so I think well, yeah, that's another story that we might have to put on the behind the scenes ones.
Everybody comment because I don't care. I ain't getting it.
Well, Patrick, let's jump into this topic real quick before we get out of here. Um, the gift that keeps on giving, man, the Super League that failed in European soccer. And here is my dude. Well, not really my dude, but kind of. Uh, La Liga president Javier Tebas.
You had to write
Basically,
that down. I know you did.
yeah, yeah, because I didn't know that off the top of my head. So yes, I just wanted to make sure I got the name right there. But Javier Tebas, La Liga president, basically said the FIFA president Gianni. Yeah, I wrote this down too.
Yeah, you wrote that one down.
Infantino, Infantino. Basically, he's accusing him of trying to orchestrate this Super League. But when he was out in public, when he had all the press conferences and stuff, Infantino was saying, no, this is bad. I can't believe you're doing this. But behind the scenes, yeah, let's get that Super League in here. I bring this up, Patrick, because this goes back to our three most corrupt organizations here. FIFA striking again, if not allegedly. But we have no reason to believe it's not. FIFA is corrupt as hell.
They are. And just so anybody knows that the other two are is the NCAA and the IRS.
And IOC.
And IOC. We always forget the IOC. I always forget the IOC. But those four. Corrupt. And FIFA's taking FIFA number one. FIFA number one. FIFA IRS number two. IOC number three. NCAA number four. I even put them on a countdown for you.
Can you ask me how the IRS got involved here?
IRS is corrupt, bro. They corrupt. Like I said, there's only one organization that's more corrupt than the IRS. FIFA.
Okay. I just thought that was funny. I just wanted to get it on there and end this bad boy with a laugh because we always say FIFA is in right there with the most corrupt organizations. And this right here, wow.
And when they haven't been when they haven't been in the news in a long time, they go all out like they did just now. They go all out. They're like, whoa. We haven't been in the news for anything corrupt in like 3 days.
You gotta break that cycle. Yeah.
What are we doing? I mean, they even got a countdown on their calendar. You know how most companies are like, we have been injury free for 60 days, right? It goes, we have not committed corruption in 2 days. Oh, we got to fix that. We have to fix that. Put that back at 0 because we're fixing to do something in the news. Breath of fresh air. Here we come. Breath of fresh air. Here we come. We corrupt. FIFA. Piece of crap.
I just think it's funny because there's still lingering effects from this. I mean,
forever.
Yeah, because all these owners for those teams that were supposed to join the Super League, people want them out still. You got league presidents calling out the FIFA president saying he wanted this. What are y'all doing, soccer? What y'all doing? I mean, I get it. Look, I mean, this is the stuff, man. See, us being in America, we're in our little bubble and we don't care about anything that goes on in the other states or in the other countries. But yeah, soccer, World's most popular sport by far. By far.
We hear you, FIFA.
Yes. We see
Breath
you.
of fresh air hears you.
Yes, we see you working, FIFA. We
We
see
see
you
you.
working, corrupt asses. Well, well, Patrick, that will wrap up this edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. Make sure you go to the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel and smash that subscribe button and keep the likes coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. Are you? No, never mind, because your shorty went out on Monday. I guess it's my turn to do a shorty, and then we'll be back on schedule next week. I don't know what it's going to be on yet, but I will figure it out. And I'll try to have that to you by Friday. So everybody take care. Did I miss anything, Patrick?
No, you good.
All right. Everybody take care. And we will talk to you later on or sometime this week. If not, then we'll be back for the webcast next week.